Alrighty, so I'm in for the Earth signs. They went out for the most votes this week. So, um, working with the energies, we figured we'd go spiritual here, um, make more progress in that direction. So here we go. I had a bunch of spirituality cards that I chose from. They asked me to go into the oh shoot, I didn't check my mic to see if it's working, but they told me to go to the masculine and feminine cards that I've got, and those are goddess and sirens and gods and titans. So I mixed these two together and put them splattered them through the reading, so they'll come out in that kind of way. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get right into it. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn in that order. Okay, I got some adjusting to do here. There we go. Hopefully, this light, I tell you, I just haven't mastered it. So, okay, so we're going deep. Taurus, here we go. First card, One of Earth. So here we start our journey, is the sense I'm getting. Sorry, I'm just going to chew on this. Yeah, that is the beginning processes of becoming truly grounded, and they're going in ourselves, in quotations. We may have some earth signs here, including Taurus, that are truly feeling at home in their own skin or learning to do this, is the sense that they're giving me. Oh, excuse me. I hope I was far enough. That's classy, Shauna. Okay. Death and rebirth is the next one. I just had supper. It was late, so sorry. Okay. Death and rebirth. Yeah, I cannot get that glare off. You know what? But then that doesn't give enough here. Anyway, death and rebirth. This is the... Yeah, I don't like that. The card. And I checked my levels before I started. Everything looked good where I was at. Okay. Okay. Death and rebirth, right? So we're at the number 1 here of self acceptance is what the word that they give me. I was searching for a word and they're going self acceptance. We're starting to begin on that trail of self acceptance, and we had to end something here in order to figure that out, or the ending has triggered that sense of self-worth in us. So there may have been something here we gave up on, is the word they gave me, but at the same time, it's something that we needed to go for quite a while in order for us to truly travel forward here and make movement. So like the golden egg is like the birth of a new way of thought, a new way of dealing within our own selves. This is really truly what they want everybody on the road to do. But nonetheless, this is what's headed here for the Taurus. So the next card, wisdom. This is good. We have gained some wisdom here, and we're going to continue to look for more, is what they said. That is about going inside, reclusing to figure out what it is that we truly want, what our perspective is. And the Taurus just been doing this outside of themselves too long. Now suddenly they've done something for themselves, taking that first step. There's perception here that we're worried too much about what others think and say and feel, and about hurting feelings, whatnot. So I feel like this whole process here, the start of this is kind of in the range of that, is like we finally, either by accident, didn't take into account what others thought, but it felt good because we stood up for what we wanted. And it didn't harm anybody. We just had to take a stand here. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you go forward that it's going to be welcome, not pushed aside, right? So there's a sense here of wanting to come more from ourselves outward. And that's what this Taurus is trying to do. And in that in doing so, they're going to realize that things are going to be a lot more pleasant. That's what I'm getting. So now to, actually, this is going not too bad here. to, yeah, well, back there it was okay. Maybe I have to go back a bit here. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to zoom in on the picture, but then it just gets glare. Yep. Okay. So, oh, I didn't move that box. On the ace, moving forward here in the new direction, the new way, right? In the new thought process of coming forward from who we truly are outward. We get the 6 of coins. That's about equal give and take. This may have had something to do with figuring it all out, right? Suddenly we're thinking about equal reciprocity between people, conversations, friends, family, whatever, relatives. Are we giving out equally? Yeah, they're going stay vague with it. We don't want to go right into the scenario, but nonetheless, had to do with equal give and take. And the sense I'm getting from the Taurus is that our perception was we weren't getting equal. So we stood up for ourselves, and what do you know? It went okay. It went over okay, not as bad as we thought it would and not as combustible as we thought it would. So they're going to keep that in mind in the future. When we want to stand up for ourselves, it's not going to create a big bomb that's going to go off. It's just going to go over. We're just going to take a stand and people are going to take notice. And this is what they need to have the confidence to go forward with. So on top of the death and rebirth, again, an ending of a way of dealing with things. And I feel like for the Taurus, the way of dealing was not saying anything, not speaking up, not putting a boundary. And they did this and they had no repercussions, no bad vibe, nothing. So it went over well. And they're going, what do you know? This solved something. So this is, I feel, what they're coming to the precipice of change for. On top of that, we have the 5 of coins. Now, give me a moment here. Yeah, there's a different vibe from this, right? The 5 of Pentacles is usually about being left out in the cold. The sense here I get is someone trying to get our attention and being distracted. So it's kind of in the same vein. But I feel like this is the Taurus. So this may have been the scenario that you went through. Someone's trying to get your attention, but there's not equal reciprocity there. So we had to lay a boundary. I'm going to go forward. On top of the wisdom, again, that holding that lantern to illuminate what it is inside of us that needs to come forward. We get the King of Coins. This guy speaks to a high confidence with money matters, with physical things. He is the King of Pentacles. So what he has is a lot of stability, a lot of stability is what I said. Yeah. Security with finances. He is in charge of things like this, and he does well with things like this. Money matters. These are all pentacles, by the way. So it may have been in a job scenario or in some kind of way that is of monetary matters. Meaning something, we may have had to take a stand in a money kind of way or draw boundaries in this kind of ways where we felt more secure to do so. So this may be the testing ground for a lot of the ways that we're going to go outward emotionally, right? Because I'm feeling it has to do with things and such. So I'll leave it at that. So to expand a little more here on the 6 of Coins, again, reciprocity, looking at others, how much they're giving to us. And now we are going to do the same. And they're going, we're not always on the bad side of this. They're going, the Taurus is sometimes not giving of themselves enough to be in equal reciprocity. So if we're finding with our friends, family, whatever, relationships that people weren't giving to us because we weren't giving to them, but we may never have known this to a high degree. So anyway, on that 6 of Coins, we get the Queen of Swords, which talks about a feminine energy that is strong and intense. This may have been our defense mechanism. Standing strong and not saying a lot. Knowing when to strike, though, when to get, but letting things get heated to a degree. This is something Taurus can be very good at. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, on the 5 of coins again, I'm getting we're no longer giving our attention to something that we used to, overly give. See, here's the thing. It's a very high dichotomy here of what they're telling me. They're going, we used to give all of our attention to another person, what we consider attention, but we were not truly giving to that person because we were not opening up to them. So it just was not a valid way to go, whether it's a friendship, partnership, whatever. We were not truly opening up when we thought we were. So the sense here is there's some kind of a boundary that was either laid or set or put down that went over fine. It's like, okay, there's an acknowledgement on both parties here, and it advanced them forward is the sense I'm getting. So on top of that, to explain that, we get the 2 of Swords, blocked emotion. So here we go. Not only did we block what we were saying, which was what I was getting highly, but we were blocking our emotions in a certain way. Ultimately, I guess that's what it comes down to. When we hold back, we're truly holding back everything. It's emotions, vocals, whatever. We're just holding it in. We're not saying much here. So there's a specific area I'm getting that these people were holding it against someone and maybe not seeing why. Okay. On top of the King of Coins, again, this may be a partner that we're dealing with, another earth sign, or they're giving me a sense. They're going, no, that's them. Finally taking charge of how they're going to run the show here, how they're going to run their life. They're taking themselves first, making themselves first. So this is really good along the lines of what we need to be doing at this point. We get the 6 of Wands. Yeah, self-confidence. So that's coming forth in all of that, right? That boundary that we laid to whoever we had to lay it to was they were saying it's a long time coming, but not only that, it really was like, whew, you mean it was that easy? Like it went over, because we really can make up things in our head, right, to blow out way worse than they ever really could in reality. And we needed to see that in what do you call that, real time. We needed to see that because we think things in our head so much to the degree that even though we can create things, they weren't what in reality was happening. So there's a perception problem here. We're getting that fixed is what they said. We're working on that with them. So I think the sense here was that in order to feel strong, the Taurus, I was going to say Virgo. That's interesting. You may have been dealing with a Virgo. But in order to feel strong, they felt like they had to hold back. But true strength is letting your perceptions out and dealing with that, a full circle. So becoming the king of your energy here with your self-confidence. Why? Because we laid a boundary down and we spoke up where we usually wouldn't. Boom, there it is. Okay, so now we're going to go a little deeper. Again, this week it's all spirituality. They're not listening to the romance side anyway. Changes need to be made. They will be made. I feel like things are already locked in. We already got towers coming in every direction. So beware if we're not up on the relationship or we're in denial. Things are coming this week. Absolutely 5 days, they said. Not even 5 days. But for some, within the 5 days. Okay, so Taurus. Next card. Okay, so I mixed the masculine and feminine, and we're going to put them in here. These are some of the energies that might be flutting around in your field. First card is perfection. That is a very masculine card. Yeah. They're going, this is really why we didn't speak up. We are afraid of being called not perfect. We wanted everything to be perfect, so much so that it froze us in fear to say anything, and therefore the moment passes and we don't express ourselves and we repress. That's what you call repression, right? So a sense of wanting perfection, and we may have even had or feel like we need to just kind of go out because we can't hold it in any longer. And I think there's planetary aspects working with that to get it all out, where we feel we can't go, we're going to go. So in a sense, I feel like that's everybody's energy trying to get all this stuff that everybody's holding in out. Okay. Publicly to people that needs to hear it, this kind of thing. So the next card, and that is a masculine card. The next card is another masculine card. So it doesn't mean that we're just talking to men here or the male side. It really means that there's a masculine air that is sitting with you, male or female, and this is what is ruling. So on top of that is ecstasy, and that is interesting. Because that's, right, talking about pleasures and whatnot. Now give me a moment here. This may be in the areas of trying to gain this from a partner. We're having a hard time expressing our point of view, our side of things. And a fear of being judged is what they said. And it's very much partnership oriented here is what I'm getting. So we have people that are not willing to speak up for what they want truly. So therefore they cannot get it, right? And maybe the sense here is that we don't want to lose the sense of perfection that we think that our partner has our eye. How do you put that? That the partner has their eyes on us with. Okay, so their partner may think that they're perfect, or that's their perception of it, right? So they don't want to lose that perfection in going forward with what it is that they truly want. They feel they're going to drop pedestals here. Like they're going to fall from a pedestal when they tell their partner what they truly want. And now, I mean, there's a lot of wrongs this can happen on, but so there's something here about that, wanting to stay perfect in the eyes of the partner. So therefore we don't want to reveal our true selves, but ultimately then if that partner is not going to accept it, then we know that we need to move in a different direction, right? So really the exposure is going to help you gain momentum no matter to where you need to go, or you need to discover you need to go, So there's a sense here of kind of having, like a resistance to something that we really shouldn't, not the word shouldn't, but we should not have a resistance for this. We should just go forward in who we are truly. We're discovering this on planes, maybe in the work area, putting foot down, making people stand, ground. So now personally, we can do this as well. It's really the sense I'm getting. And the longer we let that lag, the more problems we're going to have. So the next card, again, another masculine card, talks about the Jade Emperor and organization. We may have a problem here, like because the perfection started and the end is organization and the middle is ecstasy. So there's something to do here with how we gain pleasure, not only just in the bedroom, but gain pleasure from people, period. We don't like to be seen as, we don't want to be seen with all our ammo here is the sense I'm getting. Like we don't want to be exposed in any way. Now, if we're talking about ideals that bring us pleasure, and this could be, things like, going for trips and, not just about physical things in that way, but going out and we just don't want to be judged for liking what we like. And they're going, why not? Why not? It is their problem when they judge. That judgment is their energy to deal with, not yours. And that's the thing. The Taurus is going, I have to deal with the kickback. And they're going, no, you don't. You cannot own this. That is their energy they put upon you. You cannot own it. So there's something here about the way that the Taurus deals, revealing themselves outward with this, people's opinions of you are their perspective, their feelings, their emotions. It's in their body. They have to deal with it. They're not seeing the freedom in it. So I'll continue on here as we go to expand one further. On top of this perfection card, okay? And again, that masculine enter coming forward, it's like no longer can they resist anymore. They're not perfect. They can't be perfect anymore. And perfect is an illusion anyway. So we have to kind of break free of this is really what I'm seeing. So on top of that, look at this. Get the individuality card. This is what makes us an individual. We don't want to conform to someone else because we're not that person. eventually that makes us unhappy in a way that maybe the Taurus hasn't realized or is starting to at this point. Individuality. Yeah, we need to know what our individuality is. We need to speak from it, and we need to go outward in it. Seven and 4 is 11. That is about, when I hear 11, I hear ascension. That is about evolving. Get into your individuality, and that will help you evolve forward. Okay. Now, on top of this ecstasy card, which, I mean, I can go in all different directions here, but I'm staying on the surface with the fact that pleasure principles here, gaining pleasure is hard. Why? Because we're not being who we are. I have this saying here. I don't know if this will fit, but this is like my motto, right? Or how does it go? This way. Be you. Is that, it's spelled backwards here, but just be you and go outward in that. And other people, it don't matter. Like, yeah, you don't want to offend people, but at the same time, you want to be genuinely who you are. And I feel like that's kind of what's taken our pleasure away. Because they're showing me it dripping out slowly over time. We're dripping away from pleasure because we aren't truly who we are. So we can't truly be happy. We're always restraining ourselves, resisting, not, pulling back. This is not something we want to get used to. This is the uncomfortableness at this point, but it's going over well. So just keep dipping into it is what they're saying. So anyway, the expansion card there is the High Priestess of Earth. Look at them nail it, right? So we got to be individually who we are. Who are we? We're an earth element. What does that mean? Well, we're grounded and we like things in the material. And this is where we're going to start. It may be at work that we first come out and send that vibration of boundaries out. It may be in that area. I feel like it's something where they feel more confident in that area. It's kind of weird because your personal area is right here and your job is kind of an outer ring, right? But nonetheless, the High Priestess of Earth always has to deal with that element, and we're going into things and the material world and how we deal in that. And that is going to be the first place, I think, where they start to shine out truly in who they are, is in the material world, some kind of way or another. Okay. It's just comfortable for them, which makes sense. Now this organization card, what do we got? Love. And again, this card denotes that we want to make sure that we don't have a heart of stone. We want to soften it, pillow it up a little bit. We don't want to have rough edges, is what they said. So this will help in this as well. Like opening up to who we truly are will help. I feel there's a lot here in the love direction that is being resisted. This is like the last final frontier. And because it's quote unquote politically correct to not discuss this area, there's more of an impulse to hold it back. And they're going, not so. Especially if we have a partner we can trust. And you got to figure out if that's the case, then don't go in that direction to do that. But if we have a partner we can trust, we need to go outward in that way and truly express who we are. The partner may be waiting for this to unload, if you will. They may be waiting for this to expand. In certain areas. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Okay. I'll leave it at that. So I didn't put an 18 plus here, so I won't go. But the thing is that if we want more or we want less, we got to discuss that with our partner. If we want to expand, we want whatever we want to do, we really do have to, because they are really accepting of us. And if they're not, then discuss it. We're human beings, we're adults. We should be able to discuss these things. So on top of the individuality, as we go one deeper, we go surrender with the flow. Okay. What was behind there? Oh, that was where we had, the perfection we were working on. That's the funny thing. They're going, Because as much as we worked on perfection, we were the farthest from it. Because unless we're truly who we are ourselves, we can't get to that perfect form. And perfect is different for everybody. Again, the word, right? But if you can be perfectly who you are, is different than perfectly who people want you to be, because that's where your happy is, not in what others want of you. It's what you want of you, or what you foresee the highest purpose for your soul. And only you have the barometer for that. Only you have the boundaries for that. So on the individuality, right? Surrender to the flow. And I feel to a certain degree they are. Now, they're going, there is resistance here, but it's intermittent. Like, it's not complete resistance. We'll resist and then we give in. We resist and then we give in. So there's a sense here of evolving to a point where we just don't know where to infuse these moments of honesty, complete and whole honesty from the Taurus vantage point. We don't know exactly. But as we do it, the more we do it, the more comfortable we'll be. This is what they're getting. And they're going, just, ease into that flow a little more. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but that's what we need to grow, is a little bit of uncomfort. I think these Taurus that I'm talking to know the boundaries between uncomfortable, soul sake wise. It kept my breath. The High Priestess Earth, that's that element of you being you, grounded you, coming outward. Challenge your perception, yeah. Because we have a limited perception here, so we want to challenge it, open that box a little wider, open the windows wider, whatever. Patio doors out into the ocean, open it up. They want you to, stretch the boundaries, is what they said. We are doing this, but more is needed or intended or needed. So in the love direction, what do we have? Yeah, nourish the soul. And again, I'm getting a sense here. Ask for what you want. If you're not happy with what you're getting from your partner, there's no other way to get what you want than to communicate that. Because unfortunately, most men don't tap into the telepathy thing. This is where we're going to head. But for now, go on direct feed and just give them what they need to know. Because the sense here is that we've got something missing on the romance side as well that we want. But if you can't tell your partner about it, you ain't never going to get it. Because the partner, one, may be on the wrong track. The partner, two, may be just not tapping in to anything that you're thinking about. That just sometimes that happens. We're on different frequencies in that way. So in order to nourish your soul, I feel like the communication is needed, especially when it comes to the love area. We just need to communicate exactly how we're feeling. If we're feeling unsure, what's the harm in communicating that? If we're feeling unloved, what's the harm in communicating that? Then the partner's aware. Otherwise, they become that stone. Because they'll become stone, and then it drops to the bottom of the ocean. We just don't get it. We don't go down to get it. We can't hold our breath that long. And this is some of the relationships have gone where we just keep not saying, resisting, and that's your partner. You want to open up to them. So there's a high energy for opening up to a partner here on this side. So we are at the last card for the Taurus. So I use the animal cards for the overall what to think about this week. Wow. This light is really not. It's the owl. And again, the wisdom. We had this before. Tapping into our own wisdom, but they're going, there is wisdom here. It's getting batted off because this is the wisdom card we had. And this is the animal. The owl of wisdom, right? Coming forward. So I feel like intuitively this is what's going to happen to you. The number 4 is about, gaining stability. So if we go outward in our own inner wisdom to that partner, because internally we know what boundaries, where to stop, where to start. Start opening up where you feel safe, and then you can slowly venture outward a little further, opening the doors. and they're going, just go where we're safe right now, and express as much as you can to that part. I feel like this is very much someone in a partnership needing to communicate with a partner on a more deep basis, on a more soul heartfelt basis. And again, not when we're toxic, right? Not when we're in modes where we can't, how you say, when we're fighting, basically. So those moments, at the end of the day where everybody's winding down, those are the moments you open up, because you'll get rewarded in different ways. Then in arguments, you don't get rewarded. It's a bad frequency, so we don't want to go there. The music is playing. It's not melodic. It's not. We need to go in an area where we're soft. Things are softer. So as long as we get those areas, use our internal wisdom meter, and go with the flow here. I think we're just getting our way, meaning getting in the way of going on track. Here is what I got from the Taurus. We're just starting to hit the right wave. So now we gotta make sure, like we're on the leaf, we gotta make sure we stay in the middle of the stream, and away we go, and use our wisdom, because there is internal wisdom here, and we may have to slow down to get it. But I feel like they're tapping into it, and I feel like the Taurus is slow enough, momentum wise, that they will take note. Take note of things as they go, to make sure that it's how do you say, on par. So that is the Taurus for the week on the spiritual side. Now we go to Virgo. First card for Virgo. Intuition. What do you know? It's going around. There's a lot of stuff here. There's that owl coming back. The spider. Spider spins that web, right? To connect to all things. I feel like the Virgo's on the precipice here of really learning what it is to be connected. They're feeling this to a high degree. And because of this, they're feeling more firm in their inner wisdom, right? That owl's coming forth. They've already spun, their web's already there. So they've already connected to those energies, people even. Making more connections from a heart-centered kind of way is the sense I'm getting outward. And also using our instinct in certain ways. The owl of wisdom is just sitting, stronger and stronger and puffier as the web gets bigger, is what I'm getting, if you're sticking with me here on the spiritual side. Okay, next card. Wow. Yeah, the Nine of Earth. Okay, again, the graphic on this is very small. I hope this, there's a dish here she's holding, and it's basically a dish with a snake eating out of it. Oh, it's not going to do it, is it? Yeah, see, the snake is feeding from the dish. So it's like Mother Earth feeding all the animals, right? So a sense of nourishment going outward. Okay, give me a moment here. Yeah. The Virgo's feeling the nourishment from universal energies, like it's almost like we just didn't realize we're getting instinct, following it, doing things in this way instinctively, but not giving it credit for being there. If that makes any sense, that's what I'm getting. It's like, yeah, we were following something, but we didn't know that it was otherworldly. Didn't know it was outside of ourselves, which truly it is, but it isn't, right? Because we're all connected. So there's a sense of realizing the bigger picture here. And because of this, I feel like that's the scenario. It's like now Virgo feels like it's being fed universally, because it has been all along. But recognizing it changes its frequency. I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, they're getting it. Okay, so I'm going to trust that. A sense here that we were being fed, but we just didn't know from what, and now we know from what, and therefore it's nourishing. Now it's hitting us on deeper levels. So again, a sense of evolving in the way that we think about certain areas of spirituality here. And again, very much a Mother Earth for her. And again, her third eye, right? Very illuminated to the fact, and very close, because a lot of times they're up here or further up, maybe even in the crown, right? Very close. So we've been using this for quite a while, just not understanding the true meaning of all, right? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Now, next, we have the Destiny card, which talks about how this fits into our life. Now we're going to learn truly, because we know now that it's our instinct that we're following. We're going to continue to do this. Why? Because this is going to help with our destiny, with our path. And this here, they're going, is very dim at this point, but it's going to get brighter the more we look into it. And that's the sense here. It's just the realization of that process, really coming across our destiny here in a different way. Interesting reading. Okay, so on top of the intuition, to expand on that, I'm going to pull these out a little bit. We get 7 of Wands. Yeah. Okay. 7 of Wands is about barring, like all those swords are kind of protecting her from things. Her intuition. Okay, give me a minute here because I got a bone to pick. Okay. So I'm like, how you tell me they're using their instinct and now you're going to tell me they're blocking themselves off from it? And they're going, well, there's fear here, because they showed me the black cat and they're going, superstitious, da-da-da, this kind of thing. There's a fear of the unknown, right? So this may have to be overworked. To a degree, we may be pushing off some of this energy because we are in fear of it, okay? But yet, before we knew what it was, we had no problem accepting it. And they're going, isn't this interesting? So be aware it was the same that we always followed. It's just now we look at it differently. So there's fear. Why? We have to look at that more clearly, because it was everything that we were tapping into before. Okay, so now we understand it's universal energies. There's a fear. It's just, again, not trusting the connection is the same, that kind of thing. So on top of this, 10 of Earth, or is it 9 of Earth? Looks backwards. Yeah, it's the 9 of Earth. Feeling like mother and nourishing energy here. Almost like their spiritual side is coming to bear on the Virgo. What did I say? Nourishing? They're feeling nourished by this energy nonetheless, even though they're blocking off certain things because they're unsure of it. There's a lot of conflict here in a certain way. On top of that, we get Princess of Cups. Okay. She's about love, right? She's learning about love. She's trying to fill her cup. That is what is most important here. So being a Virgo, this is the problem here. We're having a hard time using our instinct in the love direction is what they're telling me. Okay. Destiny, right? Having our path and moving forward. What do we have? The 2 of Wands on there. That is about choices. So we may have choices to be made in a heart-centered direction here. We have to make decisions. We may be in defense already against something, and they're going, we know instinctively where to go with this. It's interesting because they're both pointing in the same direction. This woman has made a choice about love, but yet there's a boundary here keeping her from it. Is this evolution process that we are, is this where we're not listening to our instinct? We're choosing a love direction, but our instinct says no, and this is the walling up. There's something funny here. I say that when there's something's kind of doesn't match with the rest of the story. So again, Virgo's, male or female, made a decision about love in a certain area, but there's still some boundaries here. Either we are bound off to somebody or somebody's bound off to us in some kind of way, is blocking that energy from going through. Is what I get. So the direction that the Virgo is going, there's a blockage to get there. So we may be choosing the wrong partner, or we may have someone that is blocking energy to give back. I don't know. We're going to move forward here. So On top of the Seven of Wands is the defensive behavior that we have going on here. To clarify that, we get the Queen of Pentacles, comforting, motherly, faithful energy. Yeah, so that would be your energy. And the sense is here, yeah, yeah, faithful, right? Loyalty is to something, okay? Now this is something that's wrong here with that. The loyalties to where we're being loyal, okay? Let's move forward. On top of the Princess of Cups, again, offering her love in a certain direction and loyalties. But again, there's a boundary here somewhere. We can't fulfill that. There's a sense here of honoring someone in this direction. Either we're barred off from completing that process, that other person is in rejection mode. And that could be anything from rejecting us or shutting down emotionally. They do not give back. Or they're going, that's it. Yeah. So there's somebody here that's not either reciprocating or accepting it well. Okay. On top of the Princess of Cups, to clarify, we have the Nine of Swords as a loss of hope in this direction. It's interesting because our love is still going there. There's no hope in this direction, but we're still going. So it sounds to me like a partnership that we've either been in a long time and we've got habits here. There's no hope of it turning around. On top of the Two Wands, again, the energy going in the same direction. We're stubborn to go this way. We have the Star and about cleansing. Yeah, there's something here we need to cleanse. Inner healing that needs to be done. I feel like there's a codependence here, flat out simple. Because there's really a rejection of the partner to us. Like the energy doesn't go back to us is what I'm getting. The Virgo's sending it all that way and nothing's coming back. There's a blockage. Doesn't come back. So either that person chooses to not give it back or we allow them to not give it back. But there's a sense here of us needing to cleanse because they're going, we made a choice, but we need to cleanse that choice and think again, reboot and think again with all the facts intact. They're going, if there's no hope, why do we continue to go in this direction? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. So we'll go into the second ring here. This is getting right into the energy of a partnership. We had a masculine energy. I put the masculine and feminine decks together. And this is what I got. Again, still with the Virgo energy here. We got support and lack thereof. They're going, we are not supported in our decision, but we made it anyway. Okay, we're making it anyway. We're going in this way. And they're going, this is interesting to us as though we do not want you to hang on outside support. We find it interesting that there is none, yet we still go in this direction. Why? There's some issues here we need to deal with. Next card, another masculine card, talks about dedication. Again, the dedication here seems to be in one area. It's almost like either we're deluded that that partner loves us and we've got such a low esteem that they could treat us so badly that we'll put up with it, and that's fine. That's all we get. Or, something else going on here. Now we get a feminine card to end this row. Unity. Yeah, I think what we're worried about is being in partnership, not so much whether it's valued or not, or whether it's good or not, or whether it's solid, or whether we're happy. We have no support for the direction we're going. I'm just going to go along the lines they're giving me. We have a lot of dedication for things we have no support for. They're going, do we see the line here? And unity means that much to us, so we'll fight against that does not belong, just to be in partnership. Yeah, so there's a sense here, just a lack of wanting to be alone, really, is a sense I got. So as we go through here now, on the lack of support, they're saying, we have 39, which is success. Now, this is interesting to me. Give me a moment to suss this out. I think I'm going to go one further here. I'm getting it somebody else coming into the picture. Non-supportive energies may help this person see straight. That's what I'm getting, but I'm going to move forward onto this dedication. What do we get there? Deceit. Okay. Yeah, obviously, right? There's a false sense of security in a certain direction here. Now it's interesting. It looks back on the Unity card. I'm going to go one more. Open the door. Okay, Unity. On top of the Unity. And again, I feel like this is what we are doing and why we're doing it. Rigid stance here on being a couple. We're taking a rigid stance. We don't want to be separated, and there's deceit going on here. But we may have someone gain success here outside of us in convincing us about, the non-supportive energy, because the sense I'm getting here is we may be down to a degree where we're losing friends because we're keeping our partner. We're losing people around us that mean a lot, and we don't understand this to the full extent. Again, denial, and if there's deceit, we may be being bald-faced lied to and believing that. Why? Because we just don't want to deal with leaving the partnership, so we're just not going to believe anything other than what supports it. Okay. So the success, I think, is going to be gained here because we're going to be illuminated. And again, over the next 5 days, they're giving me as a quote unquote, things are going to be illuminated quite highly. So whether it's you or the universe gaining perspective here, there's going to be success in seeing things for what they truly are, no matter how much deceit surrounds. We're going to see here. So there is a rigid stance we're taking, no two ways. Now, as we go one step deeper on top of the success card, we get know your power. This is what is lacking. The fire in this person, male or female, they do not know their power. Again, codependency, meaning depending on a partner here for something other than love, true love, it's not there. And we may not even be getting any form of it whatsoever, but there's something else going on here. On top of the deceit card, time to ground. Yeah, we may be up in our head a lot about what's going on. Again, in denial, right? So we're thinking roses and tulips all over the place, but this is not being grounded in our reality. If we simply look at what we're dealing with here, we're going to see things differently. So there's a sense here of not wanting to deal with reality highly in this situation here, and it's on the love side for sure. Rigid, what stance did we take and why? It says know you belong. Okay. Confusing energy, but nonetheless, give me a minute. Okay. They're going know where we belong and where we don't, this kind of thing. And this is what is going to be hard struggle for them. This is what the tower is going to fall for them to see. So there's going to be a huge epiphany, a realization, or uncovering of what it is that we're truly in rose-colored glasses about. Yeah, we need to know that this is not where we belong. We are ungrounded, meaning we're really up in our head, making our life better off than it truly is, or pretending, I don't say to a high degree, but just kind of in la la land about things. We're not grounded in things as they sit. Things could be a lot better for us, and we just have no understanding that of that better on the other side. So yeah, so that's where we sit this week. The animal card. Wow, I just keep getting similar cards. But anyway, the wolf, and it talks about man, I cannot see it. Talks about what? Authenticity. I'm gonna put it right up to the yeah. Okay, this is the Virgo, right? And they're going, this is the whole relationship is not authentic. They're going the whole relationship between the two partners not authentic, but they're both pretending to be okay. They're both destined for better things. They're going to show that destiny card. They're both destined for better things here, but neither one will let go of the other, because they're afraid to, and they're going, and what they don't realize is each person will get better on the other side, not wanting to let go. So this is the crux point, right? Again, I say codependent kind of just flies over now, but the sense here is we really have to develop our own sense of self and know where we belong. The Taurus in your element is doing this. So I feel like, it's very close. All we have to do is just go and look in that direction and start seeking things within ourselves to make us happy. That's really what it is. So, an energy for just settling for things the way that they are. But we're destined for higher things, and they're going, the universe is going to show that to you, whether you're listening or not. So here we go. This week. Okay, so that's Virgo. Boom. Okay, now Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Here we go. This week, spirituality. 5049. First card, thought. Yeah, all these are signs are heavy in thought, but none more so than the Capricorn. They're gazing into active energy, wondering whether or not they should participate. This is where they sit. Next card, 7 of Air. Book of knowledge, right? They're deep in thought, and they've got some knowledge coming forth here. I feel like this is actually an angel. They're showing me like angels coming and sleeping with them, infusing the energy of what they need to know, what they need to say, do, feel, think. All this stuff is being downloaded in a good way. That sort of truth on their heart. They're going, this is paramount. We need to come to our truth. And there's a reluctance to do this. Capricorn's not wanting to really open up their world to truth for some reason. They want to be veiled. They want to be covered. They do not want to be exposed in any kind of truth whatsoever. It's very interesting. So this is what is deep in thought. So we may be realizing that this is something that has to change, or we may be thinking about this, wondering it's worth the change. It's not where we're coming from normally. So this is what is going to feel different to them, right? This is coming out of their box, being more altruistically who they should be, or going outward in this way, maybe, because they're going, it's not so much, they're going, yes, there's problems here in perception of self, but more where the problems are causing is outwardly, going outward in our truth. And then we can come back and go, yes, we got to deal with now who we truly are as well. But right now, this week, that's what's going on, is they're thinking about other people and other people outside of them and what they want to do there, what kind of actions they should take, And again, I feel like what they're not understanding is the worth of truth coming forward. They don't feel like telling truths is going to get them anywhere. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Next card, 7 of Water. So we're all over the place. We're in thought. We got thought here. Well, these are kind of 2 air, but there's fire here wanting to happen. They're overviewing the action, thinking about how to take action, right? And then we have the water, and the emotions are coming into play. Now, give me a minute. Yeah, her eyes are closed. And here they really don't look open, even they're like rolled back in his head. So something we're not seeing here. And it seems to be in an emotional way. We may have emotional blockages keeping us from seeing this truth that we need to go forward, take action in. Highly, our third eye, it's interesting to me. It's almost like this one's half asleep and this one's, trying to be open, but yet her real eyes are closed. I feel like there's a lot of intuition being downloaded to these Capricorns, but they refuse to go outward in it. They're just a denial to live in or trust that intuition. And I think where they're getting tripped up is because of the emotional side. the fish are all about the emotions. It's swimming in the stream. The water is the feeling here. And that's what makes the Capricorn uncomfortable. Now, they're going to take the middle card out and push those two together. Oh, yeah. The orange here, right, is the fiery energy that wants to happen. They're not even aware here. They're looking directly at it, but they're missing the truth in between. Why? Because they're closed off to their emotions. So the Capricorns here are missing a step. Why? Because they're not listening to their emotional center. They want to take action. And what do you know? There's a lot of wisdom here, but our emotions are still out of the picture. And until we take both into account here, we may make a mistake, go in the wrong way. But there's action that needs to be brought upon, is what they're saying. Okay, keep going on the thoughts here. Again, Capricorn, we have the Emperor. Yeah, taking charge of energy coming in. The Emperor is very much someone who is in charge, takes control. They're making me aware that woman in the background is at the Capricorn, and they're going, no, but sacrificing things in order to move forward is what we really have to do here. And for some masculines, it may be partners, okay? But there's a great awareness of the partner about this, and almost an intuitive sense that they're fighting, that this person is supposed to go forward in some kind of a way here. But it may be that person that's holding them back from this, okay? Because this is blue. The Emperor is surrounded in blue, which talks about communication. They're going, there's not a lot of communication here. They're not even looking each other in the eyes, what they're saying. And again, our eyes are closed anyway, so we wouldn't make much progress. So there's somebody in our life here that is preventing us from evolving forward. That's what I'm getting. And it's almost like either the Capricorn, you can switch the roles. It could be a woman sitting on that throne making decisions and leaving. It's weird because I really get an understanding that both people understand that this person's supposed to go forward, but one's not allowing of it and the other one's succumbing to that. So they both know that they need to, move forward, but they're both sitting there allowing it to stay still. Okay, this is what I'm getting. On the information, and again, the intuitive, the truth, and all of that sits in the middle, and they're giving me a question mark as to whether we're going to use this wisdom or not, or just keep it in and move forward without it. On top of that, we get the Magician, right? Because the power is in our hands. Look at the wand is in our hands all the way. We have the power. Are we going to use it or not? Now, the Magician is the start of the process. That's where we're not just thinking about it. We're taking action to move in that way. And again, look, they want to take action, but they're not. They're going to sit. Okay. But again, we have the power. The knowledge is we have the power to do this. We can absolutely do this, move forward. So what's going to happen with our emotional state as we go? So we'll clarify that. 10 of Cups. Look at, if we take action, this is what happens. We get everything that we want. Wow. We just have to open our eyes and take it, is what they said. So there you go. Okay, as we move forward, one more lane on top of that Emperor energy, again, taking charge, taking control, but he's not off his throne. He's sitting there letting someone else dictate, which is not the energy that you usually get for the Emperor. He's usually in charge. He has all that energy. He just is letting this person, these two, there's something going on here. Okay. Top of that, we get Judgment, which is an epiphany. So this, in order for them to break that chain here somehow, right? We're deep in thought. The epiphany is going to come next 5 days. It's the light bulb's going to go on, and it's going to show us the way to go here. The Magician, again, we feel powerful. We are powerful. We have everything. We have the wand. We have the cup. We have the pentacle, the sword. Everything's there. And we've got our hands on the wand. We just have to start moving forward with it. What do we get to clarify? The Five of Pentacles, ill health. So we may have a blockage of health. Now, when we are ill health, that is usually, though some may not believe it, is a breakdown of the emotional center in some kind of way. And then it eventually affects us in the body. And I feel like somehow between this dynamic between these two people here is the stagnation of the energy, okay? It's making us sick. Why? Because the universal energies are flipping past that stagnation. So if your body's going to stay there, it's going to get depleted. And this is what's happening, okay? There's an epiphany nonetheless, not of all of that background stuff, but of where we need to go, clear and simple. The sense here may be that we just are not going to listen to it. We have all the tools. We're just going to stay where we're at. Now, the 10 of Cups, that's about the possibility that we could go in the right way. We get the King of Wands. Now, he is a leader. He is positive, and he is masculine. There's a lead here somewhere that he's going to take. But we may have to get quite drugged down in the energy in order to realize this before we realize certain things. There's an illumination that's going to happen because of an illness, and then we're going to take, go forward. We're going to take action at that point after an illness, or it says ill health here, but the sense could be that we are struck to a degree that we are taken out, meaning, how do you simplify? Okay, say we're love sick, okay, and then we get depressed. This is what I mean. We're in love, and with the partner or whatever, need to leave, whatever the situation is. We are going to be stagnant in this until we actually go through a depression, and then go through a long, hard process of the energy hitting us. But nonetheless, we'll take a lead once that's done. Now we're going to move into the masculine, feminine energies and see where that leads. They're telling me to keep this guy up. Keep this up because we want to know where he's going. Okay, so we get a masculine card here. Again, Capricorn. We got sleep. So that's what's going on here. We got this guy. He's asleep. He's not quite awoke yet, right? So he's not aware of a lot of things. Not only that, I don't feel he wants to awaken, and this is what he's sitting on his throne for. He's like, I really don't want to. I don't know what's out there, and if he's got that wands. He's like, yeah, I know I got to do something here, but awaken, I don't know if that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, he's so unsure of where he has to go. And again, that energy of looking into things, but not coming out with the decision to bend into the universal energy. So this is where we're standing. This is comical. Now, on top of that, we get a feminine energy talking about faith. Yeah, maybe there's a lack of faith here in a direction of where we're headed. We have a lack of faith, maybe one, that we're going in the right way. I feel highly that's what it is. This woman is fighting. She may not have a backbone here. She may just be fighting just to fight to win, but not quite awakened to what we're fighting for, this kind of thing. Now we have another masculine energy coming out, and it's talking about leadership again. See, there's heavily, this man or woman is really worried about how they lead things, how they run the show. There's a sense here, either maybe we have ego issues in this way where we need to take charge. We need to be in charge. This is our role. We've been in it for a long time. We do not want to lose this leadership role that we have, because there's a lot of stuff here about being, running the show here. And usually when I get this leadership card, it is about lessons that we need to learn. Not only do we need to look downhill and lead for those that are coming up, but it's also about lessons that we need to learn in that way. And again, there's some stuff here that we're just not clued into. Okay, now we're running on fumes. Okay. The sleep, right? Because we are not awake to certain things here. Mindset, period, advancement, ascension. We're just trying to catch up. We get reminder. Okay. I forgot. Give me a minute. Yeah. And that is about lessons. We've learned lessons here. Okay. In our past, and it may be in relationship ways, it may be in life ways. There's lessons in the past we have learned, we've got under our belt, is what they're saying. We have to remember those lessons. Don't forget them as we go forward. Because this direction we're going forward, we need those lessons in order to survive. That's what they're saying. So our faith, right? Our faith, yeah, they're going, we're not remembering these lessons. We're warning you. So there's a sense of warning a person to look back and say, what have we learned? So if we're going from one job to another, what did we learn from the first job to the next job, first relationship to the next relationship? There's lessons we need to take forward. If we do not take them forward from this, we will lose the position that we gain. Okay. No faith, strength. Yeah, we're losing strength here because we do not have our faith lit up, like it should be. It's kind of dark and dreary. Holy, this is really this is dark. The tree of life, right? It's being burned down. So there's a sense here of not being aware of what's going on. Well, they're going, depending on the perception, this could be about being lit up as well, they said. I'm going, so I guess I'm half empty today. I don't know. But they're going, we could be starting to be illuminated as well. Okay, so that's more positive note. They're going, this person does have a tendency to look on the dark side. This is why you went there instinctively, they said. So the sense is we're trying to get illuminated here. So we got to look on the brighter side of things, that there are good things in the future. And again, having faith that could happen, we need to do that. And bringing our lessons from the past forward so we do not repeat them will make us that much more successful. Okay, next on the leadership card to go there, we have confidence. Yeah. So at this point, the sense here is we do not have our confidence and our strength in the right position, though we have the power to do so, they're saying. We can do this. We can gain our confidence quite readily from here on in. We take the right steps. It will, if we're going in the right way, we will gain power and momentum in the confidence area. We go in the wrong ways, we are going to deplete this. It is very systematic, or just start taking steps and see what happens, and use your barometer. They're going, it's very clear to us, it's very clear to you, but there's a fear of taking action. Once we take action, one little step, we're going to gain momentum. They're telling you just kind of take that step in faith, but we're not in the faith. So this is the crux point we're at this week. So on top of the reminder to not forget about our lessons that we've learned in past relationships, past jobs, past people, what we've learned, don't forget to bring those forward. Let go of the old. And this is my ego card, right? We have two highly pivotal Emperor cards and King of Wands, like heavy duty cards for I'm in charge and I'm in control here. I'm the leader. So there's a sense here that we may have to damper that a bit. And not only that, just color it in a different way. Like we still can keep our feathers plumed, like all out. But I don't want to say dim them either. They're going, no, it's a metamorphosis of, where we put our power. We can have humble. Okay. So they're talking to me about, what's the word? Like things that gain us merit. If we're proud of ourselves, right? Pride is just underneath that ego. But we can take pride. But if we go out boisterously in that pride, that's when we We overcolor things. So they're going, there's still color here. In fact, it's more beautiful and bright. Like, do you get my drift? I can't even. We don't have to go out so boldly, so brashly, so um, hammer down, right? We can go out with an inner strength and people will feel that as well. And it comes off more, um, it's more accepted outwardly than going like, you listen to me, like taking charge like that, instead of walking into a room with a quiet presence, a confidence within oneself, da da da. Yeah, they're getting it. Okay. So on the strength card again, this is boy, you Capricorns are complicated this week. There is a sense of something burning away, like the phoenix rising, and something starting to burn upwards. One burning down and one burning upwards. And as that one burns down, the flames start to grow something else. And again, I feel like this is highly in the ego center, like the burning up of the ego, but the building of the pride from underneath. And the strength, right, to come from truly a more centered power, because we are the magician, we have the power. But again, when you get into like the emperor, he kind of pushes it outward, right? So this is kind of, I feel like the transformation that the Capricorn's going through is I don't have to be forceful. I can be quietly humble and I can still gain if more followers, they're going, and more success if we do it this way. Now, on top of the strength, we have reveal your truth. Yeah. So part of this process, look at that. Because to a certain degree, this is masking behavior, right? Natural, unnatural. You know, a change happening here, letting go of old things. Here is removing a mask. So there's a sense here of removing a false sense of personality, which could very much be in the ego, but becoming more truly who we are, being more comfortable in that. When we are heavily in our ego, we do need a bit of it to get us forward. When we're too heavily in our ego, it comes off abrasive. There's no hiding it. There's no dampening it. You have to deal with that. This is what this person's doing. Excuse me. They're learning to be more graceful, more subtle with their energy. It's really, instead of a loud speaker, they're coming off as like a violin, you know, playing instead of a boom, boom, boom. I can't express it, but there's a revealing of the personality that wants to come forth, and it's a softer, subtler thing for the Capricorn. They're not used to this. They're used to hop, get going, move, da da da, taking charge, being that emperor. So it's gonna feel uncomfortable, but from the inside, it's gonna warm them, right? Like this tree, it's gonna start to burn up a strength in them in a good way, removing that chaotic, heavy, you listen to me energy. They're going to tone it down. Now, on top of the confidence, again, the building of this, we have be patient. Number 2, it's like be patient with yourself. We ain't going to jump from the heavy ego to graceful subtleties. You know, we're not going to go there in 1 week. We're not going to go there in 1 day. It's going to take a while, and we're going to back and forth, but slowly we'll gain strength. So we have to be patient with ourselves over this time, to forgive ourselves. And Capricorns can be one of the hardest people on themselves to get perfection of what they see as perfection, which isn't even correct. They're going, but nonetheless, being easier on ourselves in order to be easier on our heart, in order to let that shine. That's what they're saying. Okay. The animal card to overrun everything here. We have this snake. Sorry. And it's about, I can't find my glasses. Yeah, I don't have a lot of bright light here. Creation. Yeah. Because in the removing of the false sense of who we are, we will create the ultimate. And look what this snake is wrapped around the heart. So we got to listen to our heart above and beyond all else. That's for everybody. Listen to their heart. But that is the creation of the heart-centered place for this Capricorn, not coming from the heart, coming from logic and dignity to a certain degree. That was the word I was looking for, morality and dignity. This is what we're wanting to put forward quite highly at this time. Stand up for is what they said, morality and dignity. And this is the birth of coming from there, truly from our heart. And look at the tree, how it's growing, right? We're burning it down back here. And again, they're going, that's your perception. But they're going, maybe we're, to level out new growth, and there it's coming right from the heart. So there's a sense here that the Capricorn is really learning how to use their heart. And they're having a hard time doing this. And it feels very, very uncomfortable because it makes them feel vulnerable, right? They don't like that. They don't like being vulnerable. But what they don't understand is that you truly gain power over those things with your ego you could not ever gain power over. You were always fighting the wrong fight. When we lose our ego, suddenly we become more powerful over all of those things, but we don't see that until we get there. So that's the path we're on here. The heart, the beginning of the heart. What was the word there? The creation of the growth in the heart. Literally, that's what it is. And the snake, usually that can be a vile creature, but there's two of them here. One's gold and one's kind of like a cobra. And I feel like those are symbols of like egos and how we can tame them, to where we put the heart first and then they can just support. Right? So that's that. So big ego trip with with the Capricorns for this week. Wow. Big breath. Okay, so those are the earth signs. I don't know if I'll be able to get another one. I might be able to get another one in. We got air neck and neck here with the earth, air, water, and then fire. So those are the orders. So the next one will be air. I'll see if I can come in tonight or not. I'll give it a little break and I'll be back in right away. If not, it will be tomorrow. So take care, have fun, be kind, and happy spirituality week. This full moon, man. Fasten your seatbelts. Talk to you later.